Ah, all right. Let's do this. Hey, what you doing?
Not much. Hey, Big John.
Hey, what's up?
Not much.
I saw you chilling up here. I figured I'd come say hi.
Oh yeah. We didn't think you're gonna be on tonight because I sent her a sub, and the name of the sub was Big John.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just normally if Per's not here, I don't wind up hanging out here. I just end up hanging out in my own Discord.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
you
think she's
remember?
still.
I used to do that with Omnar too.
Yeah.
So you said you sent her a sub. You sent her a sub, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Sub, and it was called a Big John. It was a roast beef that was 22 inches long.
Oh, okay. Oh, a food.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, Per.
Okay.
Good morning. Were you able to get some sleep?
Morning. Yeah, I slept. I slept and then I got busy and didn't get stuff done and trying to get set up to stream and yeah,
Hi.
just
Welcome back.
rushed.
You
Yeah. Well,
got
Big John. Yeah, but Big John is missing his legs. Do you know where they went?
No.
The sub, the Big John. You know the sub. Oh man, you're still half asleep.
Yeah, I haven't been able to run to a store to get any energy or anything like that. It's too hot for coffee right now.
Right now, I'm on Homecoming's test server, fooling around with their power sets.
Cool. I'm gonna bounce out of here and I guess run to the store because I'm.
Yeah,
okay. Well, we'll still be here when you get back. I mean, the absolute worst that will be would probably be down in mine. That's about it. And if you let us know where you're back, then we'll come back up here. Oh, she already left. Okay. Okay. I'll be taking my husband to work. Oh, thank you. And I appreciate you too. And that's okay. I know you always have to take your, or you normally have to take your husband somewhere, so that's fine. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. Nothing but love. Nothing but love.
Yeah, she's really half asleep.
I guess so.
Hopefully, her end of the week is soon.
Do what?
I said, hopefully, her end of the week is soon.
Uh, yeah, me too. Da-da-da. Well, if you want to join me, I'm on my tank. I mean, I can hop on a different one if you don't want to go this low. I mean, this is like a level 2 or 3 or 4 or something like that. You can go back to doing high level stuff, so you can try to get uh some influence or whatever. Okay.
No, I'm doing fine right now, John. I'm trying these power sets over here.
Okay. All right. So now I'm gonna go back. I'll try leveling. Oh, well, hello.
Yep.
Huh. Well, that was interesting. I've never done that before. There we go. Now let's go back to Alice Park. All right. Well, do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do-do. So, how is your day? Go. Take the site to the balance and choose 2 4. I wonder why those other 2 didn't count. I don't know, those counted. Huh. Hmm. 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 Mhm. Mhm. Oh, it. This ain't on the weed. another level. Ah. There we go. Finally made it. Didn't think that it'd be that hard to get them. Yeah. Last night, the last flight to you. Thought I was supposed to beat him. He's fucking up and disappeared. Maybe if it was the last time. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. What's up?
Not much.
Oh, I was sorry. Did I interrupt?
No, nobody was saying anything. Sorry, I didn't see that you'd come back. I thought he was talking to me. I thought it was still only me and him. Need to get inner
So what are you
inspiration.
guys doing?
Do what?
So what are you guys doing? Sorry, all my
Fun.
computer equipment's moved around, so I probably got echoes and crap from different things that weren't there because nothing is in the position that it's supposed to be in.
Nah.
I'm on the homecoming test server, just fooling around with the sonic power set.
I'm just goofing off with my tank. What's a few stacks? All right. Now, where is the inner inspiration? Would that be a utility? Look at that. Hmm. There we go.
So you got the 96-ounce cup of iced coffee per.
No, I got a 5-hour energy shot.
When is your weekend?
When I'm not broke.
Oh, so you're putting in extra hours.
Yep, I have not had a day off since I came back.
Ouch.
I was back about 3 hours and went directly to doing deliveries and working, so I'm pretty much, yeah, that's all I'm doing. I can't even really figure out what I want to play. And see, this is why I will never wind up being any sort of successful streamer because I can't even figure out what I want to do by myself. So, mm, well, I'm pretty sure that nobody wants to sit there and watch me stare at a character select screen for 2 hours while, yeah.
Well, I mean, people used to watch Omnar for 2 hours build a character, so I can't imagine that's much different.
Omnar talks. Omnar never shuts up.
This is true.
Whereas if I'm not interacting with somebody, I have a tendency to forget that I have chat up. That's why I haven't even started streaming.
Well, what you decide to do is 110% up to you.
I get that.
Are you wanting to play a game you haven't played in a while, or what?
No, it's like anything else. I'm not into soloing, so I can't make a selection, and yeah, kind of yeah.
Okay, then why don't you play with someone?
Because that would require me to pick a character and get in the game and find a group. Therefore, a little bit I'm stuck at character select. So yeah.
Or you could ask a friend that's already in the game and playing, do they want you to join them, or something like that.
You said you were hanging out on a tank, so yeah, I figured you were busy doing stuff. Tanks don't usually get on unless they've got healers with them, so I figured you had somebody and you were already grouped up. Sorry.
No, I am the tank. I'm on with I'm on with the tank.
Okay. You say that as if I hadn't comprehended that you were on a tank and that I hadn't assumed you had a healer or something because most people don't run tanks unless they have a healer. Especially somebody that says they prefer to heal. So I assumed that when you and one of your followers were already grouped up. Sorry.
Okay. We can just
Okay, I'm on Excelsior, John.
Do what?
I'm on Excelsior now. Do demons.
So do you have anything in particular you want to do, or you just want to run low level missions?
Yeah, yeah, low level missions is fine.
All right. Oh, another level. Hmm. Not every. Yay, 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 yay. Hmm. Sorry, chat. General's talking. He's real hood. My day, my day. Hmm. I can't. Oh shit. Got to speak to the guy here on the ground. There we go. I knew I was forgetting something. I knew I was forgetting something there.
Okay.
No, you got to talk to the guy on the ground. Oh boy. So that was your day-to-day micro.
Not that bad. I saw the movie Thor.
You did? What'd you think?
That was okay. The best part of it when they gave the kids his power. You know, they ripped off Shazam.
Ah, hmm. So is he supposed to be like the new Odin?
Well, this time they actually took the pages right out of the Gore comic books and uh, the new when Jane Foster became Thor. You know, they took it page for page, just the exact story. So,
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
so
What's depressing is looking at all of these characters that I don't have builds on anymore because I'm on the wrong server.
Well, yeah, but means you get to build them all over again.
And then I can build them all over again on my server, right?
Yep. But building them
Nope.
back over on your server
But
just means that it won't be quite as much fun because you can just level them to 50.
I'd more like to be able to afford the enhancements. We are discussing Homecoming where people price gouge everything because they can't just say, oh, it's virtual shit, let's share. Because we all have to be elite and cool,
Exactly.
which means all of my non built out characters. Yeah.
I don't know if it's going to make it to the live server, but they're actually testing the where you can auto give yourself auto level 50 and stuff.
Really.
You know that the little remember the thing the set level cheat thing that they used to have, the little program that someone wrote, that could give you all the IOs and
Yeah.
levels and stuff. Well, they put it in, they made it into the chat window where the little thumb button is on the bottom, where you can actually pull it up
So basically, all they did is take the same coding that I used to make the GM windows on any other server and basically just hard coded it into the source window.
Yeah.
AKA anything anybody could do if they really just wanted to make a permanent copy of it instead of a temporary window.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, that little thing they call the pop-up menu, the old pop-up menu program that someone made, that you could actually bring up stuff like your level 50, and if you wanted to be IOs and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what's on the test server right now. But they made it so that instead of being in the tray,
That sounds like
it's
the entirety of
part
meta.
of the little chat window.
No, I think that'll
Well,
be
you can actually
probably
set your
the death of it.
So are the GM menus that I created.
Probably.
Yeah, that actually sounds a lot like to me like just the GM menus that are easy access. That's it. Or just gave everybody access to the GM menu.
Yeah.
On a limited basis, right? Because you're not going in through the MMM menu or the tilde menu to be able to put anything in because they're just not going to make sure that nobody has that kind of control.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's not like it's a far hop, skip, and a jump, considering the windows weren't created for I-24 servers, which the majority of them are. They were created for an I-25 server. It was created off the basis of what Score is made out of, Homecoming is made out of, etc. So it's basically just an extra window that you can pop up. If you don't know how to be able to put it in there to be able to get it to come up, then of course you're never going to see it or know where to put it to be able to get it to pop up. Anybody can pop up a menu like that with all sorts of different commands. You just have to know where to put the file and what to label the file. So basically all they're doing is taking those and making it part of the pop-up menu, which is what the window originally was part of.
And that menu gives you IOs. I confused. Yes.
Figure if I'm going to be the magician that reveals all the secrets, I might as well reveal all the secrets.
Well, someone in my chat said, and that menu gives you IOs. And yeah, that menu will give you anything that has a program.
That they code it to.
Yeah,
and that's absolutely correct. All you have to do is just code it to say, okay, I want this button to do this, just like anything else. Those buttons are already there. It's a command. All they're doing is placing a GM command onto a button that's physical.
Yep. And then that just gives everybody the power to do it. Now, personally, I believe that that's probably not what you want to do and not what the route Homecoming wants to take. Because even though Homecoming does price gouge a lot and things could be a lot better, I don't
That's
think
something
making
that they're testing for test. It's something that will never go to live. It's something so that when you're on test, you can very quickly do things like that.
Yeah.
And that's actually, from what I understand, Pookie was showing me this about 3 or 4 months ago back on the test server. So that's been there for quite some time, but yet it's not over there on live. It's something that they're working on to make it easier for people to test on test and not have to go through and send out populate an auction house and everything like this. They can just, boom, here you go. You can take whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's something that will never make it to live. It's a quality of life for test. Because you are 100% correct. By giving everybody access to every IO in the game and giving them access to level 50, Homecoming becomes cake.
Yeah.
And if they become cake, well, then there goes that whole non-disclosure act and trying to become legitimate and everything like that. Because why do you want to donate to homecoming to keep homecoming cake going when you could just go to cake for free?
Well, I also believe that people oftentimes go do things against their best interests. So I can still see a degree of the population continuing to do it just because.
No doubt.
And then there's going to be a degree that don't know. The only place they know is cake. Amazingly enough, I still run into that. But yeah, that would be kind of counterproductive. They can control. Never heard of cake unless you mean like chocolate cake. Agent Hugbert said, "I've never heard of cake unless you mean chocolate cake, in which I'm a fan."
It is another server. They originally started as We Have Cake. Then they became Cake Evolution, and their latest evolution is New Dawn.
Yeah. In reality, Agent, you'll probably, if you don't know that cake's there, then you probably don't know that there are other servers that
Just if you go there,
to
don't
play.
say Per says hi, they'll kick you.
Yeah, yeah, probably not a good idea. But um, yeah, there are multiple other servers that you can actually play the game on. And when I say other servers, I mean outside of the Homecoming launcher. One is Cake, the other is Thunder Spy. You have New Dawn. Well, New Dawn is Cake. Rebirth. Yeah, there's multiple ones.
And then there's the coming soon.
Yes, and then there's the person that's on the other side, the other end that you're hearing. Her name is Per. You've heard of Rebirth? Yeah. Rebirth is really grindy, really, really grindy. Um, Per is her is the one that's in the chat with us. She has her own server. She doesn't have it up. She doesn't have it up now, but she does have it. And yeah,
Rebirth added, John. Rebirth added the slash command, so you can actually level yourself up to 50 with the slash command.
now Rebirth added the slash command like Unity.
Yeah, yeah. So
Okay.
you can actually jump to a mission by go type in go to mission and give yourself a auto level 50 XP and stuff.
Oh,
I think
that's
it's that one or Unity did both of them. I forgot because there was
Unity did. Unity used to be the one that had all those commands.
Yeah, because they were so low, and they had added the power sets and stuff. Unity and Rebirth. They got the old Clockwork sets, and they got the absolute armor
Yeah.
sets that came. Like they brought a lot of the old sets back, and Rebirth's got a lot of new costume parts.
Yeah, there's a little bit of division in the player base, but a lot of the player base just doesn't know that the other ones exist.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, some people won't go to a different server just because they have friends here, which I mean, I understand. I mean, each their own. That's weird.
What is?
It was a talk to mission, and I had it up on my screen, on my navigation, but I had to uh, click on the mini map for the person I was standing beside trying to talk to get her to talk to me about the mission. Thought that was kind of strange. Yeah, yeah, that's it does happen. It does happen, Agent Bert. Um, I used to play on
Yeah, I
all
made
of
a
them.
on the test homecoming test server. Made a Sonic tune. It was called Reconstructed Elvis. Which was a controller.
That sounds like fun. Uh, I hate this. I hate this mission. This mission is glitched. We'll probably fail it.
What mission?
Shut down the Serpentine Den. Look for clues to where the skulls went. The reason being is because all of the ambushes end up coming at once, and no matter what you do, they literally follow you. So it's like having 3 sets of ambushes stuck on you. And then whenever you try to come back into the mission, even after you die, yeah, that doesn't work either because they will come and find you. As you stepped in, all of a sudden they come back to you.
Interesting. And who's that mission from?
Winneveve, I think. It's one of the low missions. It's the only one so far that I've had to actually almost quit every time. I don't think I've had a single character on this server yet that has actually completed the mission.
Did you go around the corner, Big John?
Yeah,
What level is the contact, you know?
it's like a level 9, level 10. I mean, literally, like, the ambushes are vicious and they are quick. Hey, we actually might be able to beat it this time.
You said it's skulls.
Yeah. Um, how often do you run the missions in Kings Row?
Me?
Yeah. You know the
Not
mission?
very.
Not very. Okay. Well, then you might not know it. There's one of the missions in Kings Row. It's one of your initial missions. You start off by you go into a warehouse and you're supposed to get the Serpentine. The warehouse seems empty, and you're going to be you go to the back side of the warehouse and then the ambush comes. It's like your first mission that actually has true ambushes. Well, the ambushes work off of time. They don't work off of you actually killing them. So everybody else that I've done on this, or everybody else I've tried to do this with, have taken too long. So it winds up with 3 sets or 4 sets of ambushes that even at 0-0 are orange to you. And you just wind up to where you can't beat it. Because when you die, like 4 sets of ambushes.
Is it the one that has the artifacts?
Yeah, you go in and you got to click on the box and you got to click on the thing on the wall, and then you go all the way back to the back of the mission map and read the note, and then that's when they try to ambush you. And it's Sharana Scottswell is the one that actually gives you, it's, I guess it's in her mission line, but it's she has you talk to Guinevere, or yeah, Guinevere by the hospital. Problems for Lux can't solve. Yeah. So what winds up happening for me is normally I get killed somewhere in the first or second ambush, which doesn't stop the third or fourth or fifth ambush from coming. And yeah, by the time I make it back, there's 3 sets of ambushes waiting on me.
I was more interested because I was trying to bring up which one it was. I wanted to see what the coding was that was making it doing that.
You can see Homecoming's coding.
My binning setup. Okay, well, let's go this way. My source is the same source that Homecoming uses, which means my binning setup is the same, which means all of the missions up until any changes they've made. So all of the core files, 100% the same thing that Homecoming's got.
Oh, well then why does that one come? Why is that one like my mission set is on 0-0, and
That's
every
why
time
every time
I enter that mission and the ambushes come, they're orange. Why?
Hello, that's what I just said. That's why I was trying to find out. That's why I'm asking what contact is it. I need. It's not listed the same in the depths as it is listed right there. So I have to work backwards. But I haven't gotten a real clear who gave it to you, or even just
Guinevere, the person who actually gives you the quest, her name is Guinevere. She stands beside the hospital in Kings Row. That's the person who actually gives you the quest. Now, the person who the quest falls under.
You mean, you're not talking about Genevieve Saunders?
Yeah, I think I am.
Okay.
He's the one who literally gives you the quest. But you get the quest for Genevieve, and everything Genevieve gives you shows up under Sandra Stockwell. Because Sandra Stockwell's quest is to talk to Guinevere, and Guinevere will give you the quest. Does that make sense? Hey, Pert, did that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
One screen, I can't click back and forth quick enough.
Oh no, I was just trying to make sure that.
If I hit the back button while I'm going through a folder, it's going to take me back and away from where I am.
Oh, I was just making sure that I said something that made sense. because it makes sense to me. It's just I don't know enough about what I'm talking about to know if it makes sense
Well,
to you.
my question is who's the contact in in your play where it says when you go to the contact, who are you getting the quests? Who is it listed under, the arc or the story or whatever? That's who I
Okay.
need to know who it comes from, not who they send you to.
Okay, that's Shawana Stockwell. That's the name of the mission of the person that the quest is listed under in your navigation. Let's go. Let's see if we can get somebody to
See,
make
because
some
that's
sense of
different from
things.
where the other contact is. The other contact is listed in a completely different file, whereas she's listed in King's Row.
But yeah, that was the reason why I was trying so hard to explain to you exactly how, because I didn't know how that would show up, because it's literally given to you by one NPC, but falls under another NPC when you look at it on your navigation bar. And I don't know, like I said, I don't know anything about what you're doing or how that's listed, so I don't know how to give you the best direction or to explain it.
Well, once you told me who gives it to you, that's where I was able to. That's where I was able to go because you kept giving me the name of the other person, so I wasn't finding what I needed with that person.
Ah, okay. So you were able to find it with this one?
Yeah, I'm reading the task force right now,
Woo, woo, okay.
or story arc, however you want to term it. I mean, a task force is just another form of a story arc.
Ooh.
Okay, so I see why.
Because the code tells it so, tells it to do that.
Because it's not just ambushes, it's defeat the ambushes. So they're literally going to focus on you until they're defeated because they're a mission requirement.
So why are they orange? You would think that they would be like the same level as me, like white or something, like everybody else. But no, they're like orange with bosses.
What level are you?
Well, I was level 9. anybody else. Mail.
And right there, it could be fixed with that one little thing being changed from a 1 to a 0.
Story of computer life.
Yep, because there's a variable that requires them to chase the players. If it's set to 1, that means it's going to always chase you down. If it's set to 0, it means it's going to go to a specified location.
Ah. Is it set up on a time deal, or is it set up on like, because it seems like to me like I don't have to kill the, normally you have to kill the first ambush for the second ambush to come. And I don't think that is that way.
No, because it looks like it's got a really, really low lull time. And it's
Yeah.
also set until wait until previous wave is defeated is set to 0. So no, they're set to all spawn at once.
Okay, so yeah, you do get pretty much every wave at them at the same time, and they're.
Yeah, so no, you're not
I'm not.
um
I'm not going
you're
crazy.
not imagining it, no.
All right.
But the other thing that I'm looking at is it looks like the spawns themselves are higher. They don't start until level 10. So if they're a +1 group, they're going to be 2 levels above you, which is going to make them orange.
Yeah, but that's just it. I'm like level 9, and I'm set to 0, and they're orange.
Right, but any mission that you get is going to be ramped, which means there's going to be a grouping of those that are equal to you and then those that are +1 to you. So if you're level 9 and the minimum spawn level of the critters is level 10, and for some reason that group happens to be in an area of the mission that says that this area is supposed to be +1 to you, they're actually going to be +2 because the lowest spawn level is level 10, which is a level above you.
Ah, okay. That makes sense now.
So even though you can start it some things at 9 and do some things at 9, sometimes it's better to wait until you're 10.
Yeah. Yeah, kiddos.
Because with this game, not all of the spawns go 1 to 54 because of the fact that sometimes some of them end at a certain level, some of them don't begin until a certain level. So because of that, when you reach a certain level, sometimes you're going to see that. But at least I could look and tell you exactly, yes, you're not imagining it. It really does do that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think every character except for, this is the first brute that I've had that's gone through it on this server. And I think this is the first time I've beaten it without having to auto-complete it. And you know me, I normally don't auto-complete anything. I normally go through all of it.
No, I know.
Like, if I'm not mistaken, if you go back a couple of streams, you'll actually see me run that same one on a different tune, and I think we died 9 times. And it got to where we couldn't even get in the room because there was too many high levels with lieutenants, and we would try to load into the mission and just die because they would be there at the door waiting on us.
Yep, because they are set to chase you.
Yep. I imagine they know the way to the hospital too, because that's where they were probably heading. Because I know that's where I went.
No, if you'd gone to the hospital, they would have gone to the mission exit because that's where you'd be coming back in.
Yeah. So I wouldn't imagine that either. They were literally waiting on me.
That is correct.
What a douchebag.
I mean, I suppose if I wanted to be nice, I could at least fix it on one server.
Yeah, that's that can be kind of annoying if you get there at level 9 like I normally do.
But yeah, that's what I've been trying to explain is the code I use and the bins I use, they're the same as Homecoming. Basically, the only difference is what they've added versus what I've added.
And normally the little missions like that nobody would mess with because I mean that's just part of the game.
Correct.
Yeah,
So,
that
yeah,
should
so
be the
that's
same.
something I can go in and I can definitely look at and say, yeah, that's what's going on over there, even though I don't have access to their particular set of bins. The only thing I don't have access to is their particular set of changes. Other than that, yeah, I run score same as they do.
So see, so now I'm learning something. So these missions literally have a bottom level that
Well, yes and no. They don't so much have a bottom level as the critters that are assigned to them have a bottom level. Such as, say, I create say the story arc I'm working on.
yeah.
If I don't, I either have to take existing characters and assign them to that, or say I want to put Hellions in my level 50 mission. Well, what I need to do then is I need to go in and I need to create a new villain dev. So if it's something that is already there, they've already coded it so that that particular ambush for that particular character, the critters that are in it, the NPCs that are going to come running at you for that ambush, are drawn from a selection, and that selection is going to have a particular set of levels because that's how the original game was designed. So, like, Vasilok don't spawn past, I think, 25. Eventually, even though you might pick up, say, Vasilok stop at 25, and you pick up the arc right at 24 before you hit 25, just at the cutoff point, you're going to continue leveling and say you don't go back and do that arc. To get out of that arc, you're going to find out eventually that those Vasilok are capped at 25, but you might be 28 now. So I don't know if that's making any sense how I'm explaining
Well,
it.
yeah, because when we were on the other server, every now and then I would level way too fast, and you would have to go through and either complete. We had to go through and complete missions to get them out of my. Because if they're blue names, they're quest
But
missions.
here's the thing: have you ever seen a mission or a task force specifically? It usually has to do with it'll be a council task force. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you'll be running around and everything in there will be like purple and red and orange to you because you got your settings so high, and then you've got that one guy that's gray standing in the middle.
Yeah,
It's because that particular spawn that's associated with that, they never made that particular spawn go above level X. So that, gunner might sit there and supposed to be with the other ones up at whatever level it's bumped to, but they forgot to put the coding in for that one. So when it pulls it, it's like, oh, hey, hi, I'm level 8. That's how that happens. It's just a villain death spawn that isn't coded correctly. So that's why I'm saying they've got a minimum level, and that's how that happens for your story arc. It's not that
Okay.
the mission has a minimum level, it's the critter that's assigned to the ambush has a minimum level.
Now, when you get a mission, the mission is assigned a level based off of the level you are when you get it, right?
It's usually assigned a level range off of the critters that are spawning in it.
Well, what I mean is like if I get a mission that's like level 19 when I'm 19, or when I get this mission and I get it at 19, it normally has a 19 on it. And most of the people inside of it will be around a level 19, give or take whatever my setting is.
Right, because when you accept the mission, it's going to be whatever that mission is. Now, some of these missions, like say, the Hollows, we'll go with that one. You might start it at level 5, but your second mission, now, if we go and do your mission and then we go and do mine and then we go and do micros, okay, for example, we go do 1, 2, 3 instead of completing them all together.
Yeah.
By the time we get to the last one, when we go to take that next mission, we may have out leveled the entire arc. And that's because the critters that are assigned inside to make that arc run a certain level are set to that. But the arc is also set to not be accepted. There's a little line of code in there that says if you were above a certain level, do not offer this.
Yes. Yeah, I knew about that one. I think I was kind of referring more to the ones where if I'm playing with you and I get a quest at 19 and me and you play, and when I come back I'm like level 26. Everybody in the mission is still like level 19.
Right, because you accepted that mission at level 19, so
Yeah,
it's
so
automatically
when I accepted it, it set the creatures on the inside to what they were supposed to be, right?
correct. That's where the villain deaths come in on what critters are allowed in there. So it's going to allow that level 19 mission, but it's going to go and when you hit level 20, it's still going to be 19, but you can still bump it up a little bit. What I'm talking about is critters that are specifically coded for, like bosses. Most bosses in the game, most named bosses are for a specific level range in the villain deaths. You won't ever see them outside of that 15 to 20 or 16 to 19 or whatever. If
Ah,
they are, they're recoded and in there under another name in another category. And I know because the concept is the same one that I'm using when I'm writing the task force to be able to auto force everything to be extremely purple to everyone.
now if you make it to where it's extremely purple to everyone, is and we're all on a team, and let's say I'm a 50 or you're a 50 and I'm a 49. If it's set, and this is your mission, if it's set to you at purple, it's going to be me at purple anyway because I'm below you. But
Well,
will it?
with these particular spawns that I'm talking about in my task force, they are I force them using the incarnate system and things like that and how to write it to literally be 57s. There is no way we'll ever not see purple with those. Now, do
Gotcha.
they show up as 54 because that's the max level to the definitions over what level a thing could be? Correct. They will always show up as 54s, but they'll always going to say +3s or +5s, or I can do as many pluses through that incarnate system as I want to toss on there.
Yeah. So you can put pluses until the
How
key
dead do
breaks.
I want? How dead do I want people to be in the first mission?
Now keep in mind, you are talking to the two people that broke your instant kill them button. Just saying.
Killed my instant kill button? What?
Yes, you remember you had the kill them all button? It forced high level spawns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was me and Micro that lived through it.
Oh, the big groups? Yeah, those are nothing.
Yeah, so
The big stuff, yeah.
that just makes it sound like a challenge because every now and then I saw a recluse in there somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
And they were all purple monsters, so which doesn't sound good either. No chat, they had more than one eye.
Yes, but also remember that was over on Cake where everything was overpowered. Y'all both had, AV level companions that were summoning AV level companions. So, I mean, yeah, you make it sound like, oh, well, we stood up to that. Well, yeah, you and your army of AVs went up against another army of AVs, and your army of AVs won. But that isn't to say on Homecoming that you're going to be able to do that.
No. No. Well, challenge accepted.
Now, when that button was originally made for don't forget, I've got my server. I can set it to be just like Homecoming and throw all that stuff still at you.
Hey, look, and what have I always told you? I'm always down for a challenge. Let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, first I've got to get that apartment, which means continuing to work 10 billion hours a day.
Power of sausage will compel you.
Yeah, no.
The power of sausage.
That's kind of what I'm talking about. That thing was so overpowered and broken. I mean, they literally used incarnate powers for it.
Yeah, I didn't make the rules. I just
There was no rules with that one.
exactly. But I did like the what was it? The Friar. I did really like that one. That was a pretty decent.
Oh, you mean they're recreations from the Dark Age of Camelot?
Yeah. Hmm. A pad and a pen and a big imagination. Well, that's a first. At the very bottom of this, written in this mission, written in yellow, it says this mission is of higher difficulty than normal. You may want to bring a teammate. I've never, I've never noticed that.
Probably because you click through real quick.
So do they all say that?
Any of them that are of elevated difficulty, yes.
Oh. You had all these years that I still miss stuff. Let's go.
What sucks is I have to rewrite that entire task force since it's no longer being written for a particular server.
Oof.
All the dialogue needs to go out, the storyline needs to go out. I mean, granted, I may have only had mission 1 complete, mission 2 framed up and working on linking in mission 3, but I mean, was a lot of work to begin with. And it basically, it's got to be scrapped.
Why? Just that's a legitimate question. Like, if it was never completed, then why would you have to? I mean,
because the storyline was specifically written for a particular server and contained particular references to that particular server. So no.
So
when you start erasing out all of that, it no longer makes any sense.
It does if you know the server owner and what server this is talking about.
I understand that, but because of that, I have to scrap it because I'm not going to exactly. Sorry, after being kicked from there, I'm not exactly going to go to the trouble of finishing the task force and putting it out in honor of them.
I was actually thinking about putting it out, but not exactly in honor. And maybe still removing certain names so that it just has blanks.
Unfortunately, yeah, it just.
But that would be mean.
Without, yes, it would be, and yeah.
Sometimes violence isn't the key.
But
I'm not always trying to get that question right.
Now that you said that, could I very easily and probably with a minimum amount of work add in 1 or 2 lines and turn it into exactly what you were saying? Yes, but that would be petty.
Look.
And petty is when your developer says,
hey,
I need to take some time and I need to restock. I've just worked a bunch of hours and I'm going to work on it in a little bit, which is still earlier than I told you I'd work on something. And you boot them from the fucking server because they tell you they need a fucking break. Yeah, look, guess what?
I'm normally never petty, but I do make exceptions. Hey, giggity. I mean, it's your work. You can do whatever with it what you will. I mean, I'm just a person who smashes buttons. And I don't even claim to do that well. I don't really even claim to know what I'm seeing when I'm seeing it. Which is why I have a hard time explaining it to you, because it's like, hey, tell me what you're seeing, and I'm like, I don't know. People are just, why am I dying all the time? You keep going like that, you'll have to change your name to Black and Blue. Yeah, black and blue works well. I mean, where do you think the purple came from?
The bottle of hair dye.
Ah, yeah. What did
I
you
haven't had
find?
the camera on. I was gonna say I haven't had the camera on in a while, so you may have forgotten my hair is bright purple normally.
What did you find at the bottom of the bottle? A hairnet?
A rainbow-colored tequila worm.
Hey,
Oh,
that's
tequila. I might just call out now. Thanks, Micro.
that's a very intoxicated worm. I'm just saying, it's been floating around in that bottle for days. It definitely cannot blow. It cannot blow sober.
Oh, you don't like those worms?
Nah.
I drank the worm.
Yeah, I've done that a few times.
I was my very first bottle of tequila wasn't tequila; it was mezcal. And do you know what's at the bottom of a bottle of mezcal?
A real worm.
Yep. It's one of the few tequilas that still have a real worm, and most
And
tequilas
did
with a real
you know
worm
when
aren't
you're
sold in the
drinking that
U.S. anymore.
I was gonna say when you're drinking that bottle with two other friends and you get to the bottom and they tell you that you have to drink the worm because it was your first bottle of tequila, you're pretty well drunk enough to go, okay.
Now, I will also tell you, if you like niche niche alcohol or niche liquor, go for something called Aftershock. If you like candy, blue
I've
humor,
been
not
told I
brew.
shouldn't be drinking because I get too emotional.
I mean, yeah, you probably shouldn't drink till you're emotional. You should probably just drink till you're better, and then just keep drinking. Well, I mean, then just slow down. Just keep drinking. That would be part of the problem. No, I mean,
I got a local bartender laughing. With one of those, the tequilas with the worm in the bottom of it. I put a
in the
tag
UK,
next to it with an arrow
Aftershock is
so the
sold in a
spice will
bottle that
explode.
looks like a light bulb. Really? Um, actually, I Facepalm Bricks says in the UK, Aftershock is sold in a bottle that looks like a light bulb. In the US, Aftershock is sold in a bottle, in a regular bottle, but the bottle is coated. There's so much sugar when they make the Aftershock that the bottle is coated in hard candy on the inside. And that's kind of the niche to Aftershock in the US, is that you slam the bottle on the ground and break the rock candy on the inside, and you will literally get drunk off the candy on the inside. And just in case you were wondering, yes, you could tell exactly how strong that bottle of Aftershock is going to be by how much candy is in it. The more candy that's in it means the higher the alcohol level.
I thought the old aftershock used to look like a razor blade chemical bottle. It used to be green, didn't it?
The older ones, yes. The
Oh,
ones more recently are clear.
yeah. Hey, John, we're in Kings Row, right?
Yeah.
Okay. The Clockwork King is being rebuilt right now.
Are you wanting to go kill him?
I don't think we can kill him with just two of us. That's the one that you got to sit there for 20 minutes.
Oh.
As the Clockwork King is, he's in a frame, and you got to do more damage than the Clockwork's building.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, we're probably not going to do anything to him. I mean, we can go
Yeah.
find him. Or did you find him?
No, I haven't found him. He's usually in the. He's usually under the bridges. you'll see it. It's a frame, and the clockworks have them. A big group of clockworks be around them and stuff. When you usually find them and stuff, you usually got to get a group of like 10 or 12 guys. It's a timed mission like the Ricky invasion.
Oh. Okay. Well, do you want to do this mission and we'll go look for him?
Oh, you mean oh yeah, sure. Let me just get over there.
I mean, I'm always down to not make to die.
Yeah, yeah. Usually, what happens is you have to find him, and then within 10 minutes, or else he's built up too much to kill, even with a group of heroes.
Oh.
And then of course he'll walk. If you don't kill him, he'll walk to the end of the King's Row, to the hotel.
Yeah.
Geneva. That's how it used to be with the.
Ready?
Yeah.
Ah, hey. While I have you here, Per, I have a question.
Okay. Oh, hey. Did you know the Clockwork event has a particular position on the map?
Yeah.
Not that I have that up in front of me or anything.
I'm on the quest. It's infiltrate the skulls. It's the one that who gives you that quest? Eagle Eye gives you. Why is it that you have such a hard time using inspirations while you're in another form?
Explain a little bit better. I'm not sure what you're meaning.
Okay, yeah, I figured that sounded like shit. Okay, this mission, it changes you into looking like a skull. Okay. Well,
Okay.
while you're dressed up as a skull with the skull's powers, your inspirations turn gray. And you can't use your own inspirations, so like you can't heal yourself. But yet you gotta fight. And fighting is not always the easiest thing.
Because let me look at a couple of things first. I think I know what it is.
Okay.
But it's not something, because when you're transformed, you technically become coded in the game as something else. So what I would literally have to do is go look at the inspiration, because the inspiration may be coded so that only heroes or villains can use them.
Well, that would make sense.
And so I think that's what it might be, but I'd have to go to a whole different section than the story arc to be able to figure that out.
Oh.
I thought you were about to, when you were going into a description about the story arc, I was pulling, grabbing it as you were talking so that I could see what you were talking about.
Well, the reason why I was so adamant about the story arc is because I didn't know if you would need that information too. I don't know. I didn't know.
But no, I think that has to do more with the transformation. With the transformation, you become something in the definitions or in the game that isn't allowed to use an inspiration, therefore it grays it out.
Well, that would make sense.
Just like your powers are grayed out.
Well, powers disappear, but that would make a lot of sense, because when you get higher up and you do the one where you with the submarine, I always die in that, and I get pissed off because I'm dying with inspirations to live. But yeah, you are right. It is not just this mission that does it. It's now that I think about it, yeah, it is all of the ones that you're transformed in.
Yep. So, just out of curiosity, which mission in that arc is it? I'm just scrolling through here looking at this.
Oh wow, I just completed it. Do you see them in order?
Yes.
Okay, it'd be the one before confront VELES.
It's going to take me a minute because the lines I look through, let's see, this one's almost 7,000 lines to scroll through to find.
That's all 7,000. You got this. I heard you're a speed reader.
Yeah, it's parts of this are set as Team Monster or Team Hero. So I'm betting it definitely has to do with the fact of at some point in time you're considered a monster and therefore you cannot use inspirations.
Okay. Oh, all right. It's cool.
Because that goes back to the actual item itself or the like say I know inspirations they do have portions of them coded to say that they have to be used under certain circumstances or everything has circumstances in here and it's just another form of limiting them. The easiest way to transform you into something that the other monsters recognize is to transform you into a monster with them, because then you become part of their ally group.
Oh, which would also explain why they don't attack you.
Correct.
Because technically you were created with them and they see you as an ally, right?
Now, it's correct. So basically, all it's doing is it's giving you control over a monster for a short period of time. So if you think of it more like that than any of the other conditions, because it's I'm trying to put the coding into this is how you see it and how it works, but it's a lot more complex than that.
Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is a whole lot more complex than that. I actually thank you for taking the time to dumb it down for me because I've really never understood it.
Well,
So
jargon doesn't help anyone. It just creates more confusion because people that aren't familiar with the particular jargon aren't going to understand what the hell I'm saying.
yeah.
So it's less, it shouldn't be saying that I'm dumbing it down for you. I'm kind of it's not dumbing it down. I'm simplifying it for everybody to be able to understand it.
Well, I like to call myself the crayon eater. So you Yes, you are. You're simplifying. You're putting it in terms that people who don't read code can understand.
Now, for those that are out there, they're reading the code and they're going, well, there's no line in there that says, this, and no, it's not one line. It's, because just because that contact gives this story arc, this section of it, that villain death, this thing, there's 12 different pieces. It's just to simplify it. You're considered a monster. Monsters can't use inspirations.
Monster bad, blue crayon good. I got you. I actually really do understand. Trust me. All too often when engineers are requested to report out, we're not reporting out to other engineers. So we have to say things that don't exactly make sense. To another
engineer.
Yeah, to another engineer, because when you talk to people who are not here's a prime example says, in the world of quality, you never accept anything. Nothing ever passes. The only thing you've actually done is you've failed to reject it, which for a person who is not in quality and doesn't deal with quality, you would say they're the same thing. Although if you're in quality, you quickly understand that the ability to fail is indefinite. You always have the ability to fail. The only thing you've successfully proven is that I cannot fail it right now, not that it won't fail later. And you can never get rid of that possibility of failing, so you can't ever truthfully accept it, because it never passes. Now, in layman's terms, once you hit, I think it's 95% probability, they consider it passing. So, but from engineer to engineer, no, nothing ever passed.
Okay, so I was right, but I was wrong. It literally says there is a variable in here that on the entry to that mission where it turns you into something else, it grants you a temporary power that overrides your server trays.
Yeah. Well, because like I said, I could still, it's not that my server trays were grayed out, it just gave me new ones.
Yep, that's pretty much basically, and then it gives you a costume, and then it gives you temporary powers to be able to use during that. It would be very easy. All they'd have to do is just write in there that you received temporary inspiration and create a class for a temporary inspiration.
For whatever inspiration you had in your thing to go in with.
Right, because an inspiration is just a temporary power that has a specific form.
Well, cool.
So yeah, it literally, it doesn't tell it that that you can use inspirations. Therefore, it's limited to what it grants.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I could see, like when I log in from, and this, once again, please excuse my terminology. It is the crayon eater. I am the crayon eater. All I could tell is that my bar goes away and a new bar comes up, and my inspirations stay where they're at, but they become gray, and I can't use them anymore. Which
because
makes fighting.
They're part of the server tray, which has been overridden to give you the new bar.
Yeah, so I can't, which makes it very difficult. If you've ever fought with like 2 powers, with only 2 powers, yeah, it makes it a little bit more difficult when you can't even heal yourself.
You are absolutely correct.
Yeah, normally and FYI, normally I don't, I am not, oh God, this is not going to sound right, but chat, I am normally not the one to complain about anything, about how anything is. I'm literally asking a designer, a person who has her own server, that is I-26, you know, how things work because I don't understand. And as I play with her, oh, that didn't sound right either. As as I play video games with her all the time, when we're playing, I forget that she is a dev and I don't ask her anything about the game, because if I do, she will stop playing and look it up. And I want her to enjoy the game with me. Because we're playing.
I would have been playing. I don't know. I've had a bad few days. I guess I'm excited that I've got the server tower at least partially up and running and working correctly now, and so I'm kind of wanting to get back into that. I'm frustrated because I want to play. I'm frustrated because frustration turns to depression after a little bit.
Yes, which is why I say don't get frustrated. Just figure out which one you want to do today, and tomorrow will be a different story. And maybe tomorrow you decide you're not going to play, you're just going to work on your server tower. And honestly, I mean, talking to you about issues that I've seen in this game, I've actually gotten more people watching the stream than I did the entire time I was playing.
Because we're just sitting here talking. You're kidding, right?
No. And because we're actually talking about something that, think about it, what other server are they able to go to and find out how this game is ran?
None, unless you want to sell your soul like I did.
Well, I mean,
And
can they take IOUs? I think I've already done that.
I was going to say maybe that's why I give out the information and give out so much of it, is because I know what I had to do and what I had to go through in order to earn the ability to be able to do this.
And of course, I facepalm brick says true, but also bear in mind that
I can tell a lot of people.
Sorry,
it's really
sorry, I forgot to push. Okay, facepalm. I facepalm brick says true, but also bear in mind that the Iron Man players don't use inspiration, and they ain't complaining. And what I would say is that Iron Man players also don't expect to finish the game either.
Iron Man players, yeah, they don't expect to. They're trying to see how far can they get versus I want continuous play.
Yes, and what I would also say is that
I was going to say hardcore Diablo versus regular Diablo.
If I was going to hardcore this, one, I would never choose a Kindling because of Quantum and Void Hunters, and two, I would also avoid certain missions just because their difficulty, like Per said to begin with, why that one mission was actually so damn hard. I would skip it every time. I'd never go that route. Just because that one mission is actually set to be extremely hard. So as an Iron Man person, I wouldn't, if I was doing an Iron Man, I definitely wouldn't do that one. I would be more picky about my missions. And yes,
and I was going to say, City of Heroes doesn't really have like a true hardcore Iron Man thing that requires honesty. And as much as I love the entire community, yeah, most of us aren't very honest with ourselves, let alone everybody else.
Yes, because if you wanna, yeah, to elaborate on what she said, like I said, if I was gonna do an Iron Man and I wanted to get far, I know what missions. I've done the missions so many times that I know exactly which ones to skip, to not get, and to avoid. To make me go really far. They ain't expected to finish, but they get further than that. Yes, because they avoid it. Because they literally avoid it. They will go through, and all of the harder low level missions they will avoid just to stay alive. Asked Feedly to drop the wrong antimatter in AP and wiped out everyone. So yeah, I mean that is part of an Iron Man. Part of an Iron Man is choosing which missions you're gonna do, and you're not doing them all. So there's no way. I don't think there is a way in this game to do all the missions without locking your XP. And I've never seen an Iron Man where they locked XP. Like the last 2 Iron Mans I saw took the hollows and didn't take King's Row. And I think they did that because of the fact that a lot of the missions in King's Row have locked in higher level hero or villains in the mission. So you can just avoid it by going to the hollows. And even if you're leveling fast,
That and the hollows gives you a lot of merits when you're doing the when you're also looking for merits and things like that to be able to keep yourself going.
yeah, like I said, I've done streams of Iron Man. And when I do, believe me when I tell you that it's not a stream. You can tell the difference in when I'm playing versus when I do an Iron Man. Because normally you will never see me go to the hollows. But I won't go to yeah, I also won't go to King's Row in an Iron Man. Another nifty one is I stick to I would stick to the Death from Below because it's much easier to Iron Man it in a very large group. So yeah, you know, not trying to tell the secrets of actually playing as an Iron Man, but that is what you kind of do, and you kind of have to. As a matter of fact, for those of you that watch my stream often, I used to have a death counter, a running death counter, because I was so proud. DFB to DLB. I was so proud of that. Do
Death
what?
from below to death from below to drowning in blood. Do you remember that? The right after it,
Yeah.
people would try to do with the Shivans.
Oh God, yes. Yeah, I would. I literally removed my death counter, which I was really proud that I figured out how to make work because of that, because of the mission that started the question line. Because in one stream, I died so many freaking times trying to do that one stupid mission. When you naked. What's your boyfriend bringing this up in my house? If your girlfriend congling this on the couch.
Oh, I just realized the time.
What? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, you gotta get ready for work?
No, I'm halfway through my nap time before work so that I can make it through work.
Ouch.
I'm sorry, I should have reminded you.
No, I got talking and relaxing, so.
Well, I mean, you got to looking at stuff and looking for stuff, and really and truthfully, it was really nice being able to, you know, get an honest answer as to am I going crazy or is this mission literally harder than I think it should be, or than the rest of them that I get. Or am I just having a really good collection of really bad days?
Yeah, I'm already doing that. Highly don't recommend.
What? Oh yeah. Ooh. Sorry, Micro. It's gonna take me a second.
Yeah.
I guess on this server, 13 is the level that you really need to start buying some form or fashion of inspirations. Because boy, I just suck down end.
Fire.
Fire. Fire, fire.
You're gonna suck down a lot of endurance, especially with the attack. It's an AoE attack, which means it uses up more endurance running it than most others. It's great for low level, but it sucks down endurance really bad.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm used to that. I'm used to having to slow it down, or slow down the attacks and let burn, or what is it? Blazing Aurora take effect on a lot of them, but it ends up
It
being,
doesn't. I was gonna say it doesn't do enough damage low level to be able to really
yeah,
make up for what you're losing, and because you still don't have resistance then either.
exactly. So what I am like right now is I'm running around with none of my armor on, just running Blaze, and I'm still running out of endurance. And basically, I'm just
And life.
attacking. Yeah, imagine. Oh, you're finally watching the stream, and you got to watch me die.
I've had your stream up the entire time.
I can hear you in the background. What is this crayon eater talking about? Let me just look at his stream so I could see what he's trying to explain to me.
No, I've had it up the entire time. I can, if you'd like, I can scroll back to all the way to where Dr. Z was talking to you.
Huh. But
So,
it told me
no,
I
no,
didn't
I
have
haven't
anybody
been
but
over here in
Dr.
the
Z.
background going, the crayon eater, I gotta go see what he's talking about. No, I've had it up the entire time.
Yeah. Notice, chat, she never denied that I'm a crayon eater.
Well, I mean, I suppose I could argue with it, but since I don't know your eating habits, you could have one of those weird conditions where, like pike egg, you want to eat crayons instead of plastic. No kink shaming here, so I'm not going to correct you on that.
That's a Marine Corps thing. Thank you.
What's a Marine Corps thing?
Being called a crayon eater.
How do you know I am a crayon eater?
Look, he'll eat anything.
I swallow.
See?
I gargle.
I do it sometimes.
I can't wait till I get older and I can do that. I can drain them down and eat them by the pack. That's for damn sure. Wagon wheel, rock me and mama like the way you feel. Well, Alfredo, how the hell are you?
Um, I went to hell for like 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 my yearly tea party with Satan, Oprah. Saddam Hussein, Hitler, the Easter Bunny, and Elvis.
Why is you would think with all that shit she gave away, Oprah would not be in hell.
Oh, because Oprah has a special pass to go to hell.
Ah,
Mhm.
She wants to be able to visit all her friends.
And then after the tea party, he like sent into his once a year, um like put a pineapple up like physically Hitler ass.
now the question is, does he go crown first or bottoms up?
Crown first, of course.
Of course.
In a giant Crown Royal bag.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna bounce out of here, and I guess since I'm not gonna sleep, I'm gonna
Huh.
go grab a quick shower. I might be back in a few minutes.
How
Okay.
per. So once I come in and you leave her, I see how it is.
What? I've been in here all evening, and you just finally decide when it's past the time that I normally go to lay down to join in. So you were just gonna like avoid me.
Who, me?
See, I can flip
Why?
that right back the fuck around on you.
Okay. Does anybody besides me, when he says that, hear Scooby Doo?
Yes.
Okay, all right. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't just me.
Oh, blow me.
I get a Scooby.
Alfredo,
snack
did you
over
pay
here
off your
for you.
parking tickets on the mystery machine yet?
No, why?
No, he ignores the offer of the Scooby snacks over here and talks about the mystery machine.
That's because he's still missing Shaggy. Nobody ever said what those guys did. Enhanced
but
damage
see
resistance.
Velma right here.
Touche.
Dark-haired, nerdy girl, smart, glasses.
Yeah, like the funny. Yeah, like. Yeah, yeah. For Velma, I think one of the Scooby series, they made her bisexual.
Uh, I'm pretty sure every man on the face of this planet made her bisexual mentally.
No, because there was one series, like the first two seasons of that series, she was dating Shaggy, and then between the third and fourth season, she dated a girl.
Sir, I believe you downloaded the wrong the wrong Scooby. That was that was not the one that went to the
Oh,
theater,
now
sir.
now we're going. I was gonna say that's really kinky now. That turned into barnyard bonanza in my head there.
Amen.
Yeah, bestiality, no.
Well, my question is, I know how you feel with bestiality, but what if it's CGI, CGI,
Well,
CGI
see,
beast?
now here, this is where the problem is because CGI, then I gotta go with that because I've already confessed that someday I'm going to marry Illidan Stormrage.
Well,
Well, maybe not marry, just I'll just be one of those happy little concubines that's in Black Temple. Absolutely perfectly fine with that.
And
Well,
welcome to the CGI world.
there you go. Now all of a sudden you're a cosplay girl. It's yeah.
Oh, per been
Yes, I was gonna say I've been a cosplay
yeah,
girl. Do you
per
realize how
per
many
been done
costumes I
already.
have? Okay, let me actually, sorry. Do you realize how many costumes I used to have that are now down to, I believe I have back in storage in Maine, I have one box of costumes that is maybe 3 or 4 dresses. And I think, and all of my wigs I found shoved into one bag, just shoved into the bag. They are all jumbled and tangled together. Jewelry's all in there with it. It's all throughout the hair. It's like I'm looking at it and I'm going, I don't even know how long it's going to take me to fix those wigs. But yes, I'm an anime cosplay girl too. I have a full cat girl costume. Ears, tail, paws, corset.
Wow.
Hmm. And plus, don't forget her matching
That's the,
boots.
I was going to say, that's why Abiko would constantly talk about that trip to, he got to help put the tail on my costume on the corset. He's actually the one. So he has 100%. That's why he gets all fanboy over her.
So, another word, another word, another word, he become a simp over you.
I'm not called a Hellcat in, yeah, never mind.
Giggity. Giggity. Giggity giggity goo. It's Quagmire. Giggity giggity. Let's
Guess
have sex.
who?
Maybe that's what I should do since everybody gets so fascinated with that damn cosplay costume that I wear. Maybe I should put that on in the guy that I see here locally. Show him.
Hmm.
Shit.
uh,
Shit. If that was me, you would hear me explode where you are.
It's a shame for where you are now. There's no Comic Cons.
St. Louis is like 2.5 hours away.
Indianapolis is like 4.
Yeah, St. Louis.
Of course, I keep looking at the fact that Gathering of the Juggalos is August 3rd through 6th, and I'm like, oh, it's not that far away.
Now they're still doing a gathering this year because one of the Juggalos
Yeah,
is not
yes,
juggaloing anymore.
they are doing a gathering this year.
So is this going to be the last one?
I do not know.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
No, I don't think.
I believe Jay is. I think he's got cancer. He's got something where he's got a medical condition where he actually stopped being a juggalo. Like he's no longer part of ICP. So ICP is technically, I think, no more. And I think it's a medical condition. At least that's what I read. That's what I read somewhere. You might want to cross-reference that though.
Well, they announced back in April. I'm pulling it up right now. August 3rd through 7th. in Thornville, Ohio. It's announced as ICP.
Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I was reading that from the wrong place.
Well, it said last year that they had announced plans to embark on a farewell tour because of he has heart issues, not cancer.
He has what? Heart?
Heart failure. Heart
Yeah.
failure. That was last year, though, that was announced.
Yeah, that's what I'm going off of. Okay, so it wasn't. Yeah, I knew it was some medical condition. I thought it was.
They are
cancer.
not saying goodbye to the stage forever. They're still performing. They are just no longer they're no longer touring. They're still a group. It's just they're no longer touring. The gatherings are still going on. They're doing every Juggalo weekend, every Hallowicked, the Big Baller Christmas party. They're going to try to do a show every month, but they're no longer touring.
Oh. Okay.
That's what it was. Is it was a farewell tour is what was announced. So they aren't breaking up. They're just no longer going to go on tour because that is too much for him. But
yeah,
continuing in the local area, as ICP, that's still what they're doing. So yes, Gathering is going on. Hallowicked will go on. So yeah. Because I was going to say I didn't remember seeing anything about it. Granted, I haven't watched a stream in a while, but yeah, no, I knew that they were no longer touring. But I was like, wait a minute, what are you? I was completely confused about everything else.
no, I knew that he had. I can't. I couldn't remember that it was a heart condition. I do remember that they said that he had a medical condition, which was stopping ICP from being ICP. And I thought they were saying that at the time. I thought they were saying that he was actually done because, I mean, if you have a heart condition and you can't do a stage show, I mean, if you've been to Hallowickin, that's a stage show. If you've been, I mean, that's.
I was supposed to go to Hallowicked one year, and then the other girl that I was going with, she and I got into a huge fight just before, and then I didn't go to Hallowicked. And I am sad. That's why I was like, this might be, but then again, I don't know if I want to buy tickets, and I no longer have any camping equipment, which was another thing I thought about, which I was going to grab when I went back to Maine. My tents are gone. My sleeping bags are gone.
Well, about that, when I was going to college at SIU, there's a little town to the west of SIU called Murfreesboro. And every year in the cavern in the Murfreesboro caves, ICP would come and throw a weekend for the ICP. So I've actually been to one.
Really?
Yes, there's more drugs done there than you can shake a fucking stick at. Oh my god.
The only thing now I have to be really sad because I have to point out, but I'm not a fat chick anymore.
Oh god, yeah. Oh, and
I was still, it was before my weight loss surgery, so I was still a big girl when I was going to be going to Halloween Wicked. I was going to have myself a fucking blast.
So what band
ICP is
is
Insane Clown Posse.
uh
If you remember the song "The Great Malenko," that's them. On an arrow.
My favorites, yeah, the Great Malenko. That's my favorite album. So to the point that my rogue on in WoW is named Malenko.
Um, now
My undead rogue.
you can check this if you'd like. I would probably suggest it. Either the Great Malenko. If you look up the albums for ICP, you'll notice that it's either Great Malenko or the album before Great Malenko was published by Disney. That ICP in their heyday was a Disney production.
No fucking way.
Yes, look up the albums and what companies produce the albums, and the ones before, it's either before Malenko or Malenko, the Great Malenko was the last one, was produced under the Disney label.
So, 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 Goody Two Shoes Disney actual label ICP.
Yeah. Oh, dude, fucking Disney owns porn. If I'm not mistaken, Disney owns Pornhub.
They do.
Okay, so on the day of its release, for the record, The Great Malenko, Disney recalled all 100,000 shipped units upon discovering the graphic nature of the album's lyrical content. So yes, The Great Malenko, up until The Great Malenko, they were a Disney label. And
Yes.
it was with The Great Malenko and all of the naughtiness that was on that one.
Piggy Pie.
But
Yes.
the Ned game.
Yeah, see, and people don't understand. No, Disney has a lot of shit. They have their hands in everything. They just don't announce everything. But yes, ICP in its heyday, when you could go to a concert and see the first opening act and then get knocked the fuck out.
And that's when they formed the record label Psychopathic Records.
Yes, so that it'll never happen again. So yeah, once again, I always tell people, when I tell you something, don't be scared, look it up, because if I'm telling it to you, that means that I remember it somehow, and I am 90%. I'm with 90% certain that I'm right.
I just wasn't. I knew they were a Disney company. I just didn't know which one. If it was Malenko or if it was the one before, like you were saying, if it was Riddlebox.
Yeah, I didn't know if it stopped at Malenko. I remember there was something with Malenko that was really special, and it was the fact that
Malenko was like their third album.
Yeah, well, yeah, which is why I was like, okay, well, they've released two other. Did you hear those? Those are fucking just as bad as the Malenko. I mean, it's not like all of a sudden they decided to change. No, they finally realized exactly what ICP was. And
yeah, those were friendly clowns.
Yes. Oh, they're just talking about Fago. They're just a bunch of people with face masks on talking about Fago. They love the cops. That's why they have a song called Piggy Pie. They want to feed the cops pie. They intended to make 7.
not Milli Vanilli.
Yes. Back when they made Malenko, they were talking about making 7 albums, and then they would be done. They would come to make their 7 albums and make even more, because they're still making music. And actually, if you listen to
well, it wasn't that there was only going to be 7 albums. There were only 7 Joker cards.
Yes. But if you listen, especially in the Great Malenko, they talk about they're going to make the 7 albums for the 7 Jokers cards, and then we're done. We're out. But that didn't happen. I mean, nobody's gonna leave
Okay,
while you're
but-
making money.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I gotta bounce out of here because I gotta get a shower before work.
All right.
Have a good one, guys, and yeah, bye.
Okay, bye.
All right. They got married, had kids, went soft, released miracles. No, I don't know if they ever actually had kids, but I do know that they never went soft. They definitely never went soft. I actually have songs in my rotation for playing. I have ICP songs.
Well, at one point, ICP joined freaking WCW to
Yep.
become wrestlers, and
Yep.
then like after that, I think like I think after that they started their own company of wrestling.
They went more toward the ECW,
Yeah.
but for a while they were trying to break into WWE.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, the 7 Joker themed albums. Let's go.
Yeah, I think they probably saw what Def Jam Records were doing. Probably started their own label. When those God, rap artists were getting banned. When the other record albums weren't companies weren't signing contracts with them.
Yeah, well, when they were. Yeah, we'll go with that. I have kind of a different perspective on it, but yeah.
Yeah, East Coast killer, West Coast killer.
No, it has, and this actually has nothing to do with East Coast, West Coast. It just has something to do with oppression for decades. I mean, you can find it in everything. You can find it in music. I mean, hell, that's the reason why Elvis was popular. Elvis did nothing but take what black people had already been doing for decades, but wasn't black, and made a killing off of it.
Have you seen the Elvis movie?
No, not yet.
It's a very good movie about him. The guy, Tom Hanks,
Unlike most
really
other
played
music.
the
Yeah.
manager to a T.
Well, like I said, the reason why Elvis got popular is because Elvis played black music, but was a white person, so they could like him. And at the time, black people had one album label, period, and that was Motown.
Yeah.
So if you didn't get on at Motown, you could be the best singer in the world, and no other music label would touch you.
Yeah.
So I kind of believe that's the same thing with ICP, and that's the same thing with rap. Is they realized that was going on, so to combat it, they finally had enough money and power that they could literally start their own music label. So that's what they did. Hey, is that dude following us?
Yep.
Note to self. Ask Per to give him haste and sprint. Yeah. At the time, there
Remember
was a
all
lot
those
of gang
following games
cultures.
where we were playing with Fieldy? When
Yeah.
you put stealth on? Fieldy
Yeah.
says, whoever's got stealth on, turn it off. They're not following me anymore.
Oh yeah, if you have an AOE stealth. At the time, there was a lot of gang
Yeah, we used
cultures
to turn
in
Team
movies,
Stealth
Boys in
on
the
it.
Hood. Yeah.
We used to turn on the team stealth and just screw up the game.
Oh yeah, because you just piss people off.
You failed the mission. You failed the mission. Never try to heal hard. Oh my god, that healer got pissed out that one thing.
All right. I think I could probably do another mission. You down?
Sure.
They pulled an alternative spin on it. Um, yeah, I face palm bricks. You got to understand that there was a lot of gang culture in movies and Boys in the Hood. Um, During that time, okay, there was that wasn't a culture of the movies. That was literally the culture of the people. Um, America had a gang problem. I mean, we really did. So the movies, they just eventually allowed them to mimic life. I mean, movies don't make it if people can't relate to them. Just kind of an FYI. That's kind of like a comedian. A comedian isn't funny if you can't relate, or if you don't, then you don't understand. Yeah. So for ICP to come out with music where they punish thugs was good. ICP didn't punish thugs. Piggy Pie was about killing cops. ICP, no, I'm actually telling you. Trust me when I tell you. I used to be a juggalo. I've been to their concerts. I know almost every word to most of their songs. ICP were the thugs. They were there killing the police. If you don't believe me, listen to the song Piggy Pie. I mean, just yeah.
Well, I another IBC that I like I ICP you used to have like another spin-off group called like freaking Twisted.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I got to see ICP. I got to see ICP at the caves when I was in college. And before I went to college, I got to see ICP in concert in Kansas City. And the concert in Kansas City, they literally left the concert hall marching down the street singing Piggy Pie the entire way. Not their whole collection. You should read the music, the lyrics to most of their albums. I'm just saying that's yeah. There is a theme. And yeah, the term juggalo is you are the thug. It's just their versions of thugs. You don't call thugs, you call them juggalos. escape with Kelly. Yes. Yeah, that's back to reality. What you can't smile because you're not. Yeah. Facepalm for the same reason that Deadpool and Black Adams are not heroes are the same reasons that yeah, and they don't, yeah, just because you hurt bad people does not mean that you're not a bad person yourself, and you don't do it in a bad way. And 90% of the time they're also hurting judges, police, innocent bystanders. Yeah, they're they're they are the thug. Yeah, they're still thugs. Just because you do bad things to bad people don't mean you're not a thug yourself. Because the Crips kill the Bloods, does that make them good people? No, they're still thugs. All right. All right, well, I am going to call this a night.
I remember guns back in '90s, Cribs, Blood, Aladdin Kings.
Yeah, well, thugs. That was because that's what got us starting to talk about this is the fact that he was saying something about the like the boys in the hood and that, and I was like, no, that was most of America in the 90s. Most of America in the 90s was very bad with gangs. Gangs was a problem. But all right, I'm gonna have to call it a night because it's 10 o'clock here, and I gotta go to work tomorrow. So thank you guys for joining me.
No problem.
Yeah, if you were a douche, the juggalos don't like douches either. No. Thank you for stream. Look, my guy, it is my pleasure. Like I always say, I stream for you guys. You guys are the reason why I do what I do. Thank you for watching. As always, be careful, be safe, and have fun. Peace. Thanks, boys. See you guys tomorrow.
Yep.
Okay.